It's Watch the Tape Wednesday, and the tape says that Carnell Tate is the next Ohio State wide receiver to be selected in the first round.
You are Locked On NFL Draft, your daily podcast covering the NFL Draft. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast, your daily podcast covering your favorite draft prospects, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your boy, Damian Parson. I'm an NFL draft analyst with Bleacher Report. And as always, thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day. Shout out for being our everydayers. It's Watch the Tape Wednesday, and Carnell Tate is next in line to be a first-round wide receiver out of Ohio State. What does the tape tell us when it comes down to Carson Beck and his not-so-good performance on Friday night, and Nyjalik Kelly, the underrated and unknown edge rusher from UCF, big-time game he had this past weekend? Let's get into it. But before that, guys, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets to use freely across the app. Carnell Tate, 6'3", 195, almost 200 pounds. And this young man is, he's my wide receiver 2 right now, guys. He's my wide receiver 2 right now. And I love everything that he's displaying. I was a little lower on him entering the season off of summer scouting. I was like, he's a steady Eddie guy. I don't know if he's a big-time playmaker, but man, has he really changed that narrative when he's getting the targets, right? He's coming off a game against Wisconsin last week, 7 targets, 6 receptions, 111 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. He averaged 18 and a half yards per reception on a season, 17.3 yards per reception, 6 touchdowns. And the things that I see with him at 6'3", this is a guy with a big catch radius. Okay, he's soft-handed. Best way to put this, Carnell Tate is a quarterback's best friend. He is a QB-friendly wide receiver because of the strong yet soft hands, the reliable hands, the consistent hands. It's the catch radius to pluck the ball away from his frame. It is the vertical salesmanship as a route runner to sell the vertical routes. Knowing that, he's not a 4.3 athlete, but man, does he make you think he is, right? He makes you believe that he is that type of vertical threat. It's the route running ability, the separation at the breaking point of his routes, the top of his route, the apex of his route. He knows how to get open. If you leave him one-on-one, 9 times out of 10, Carnell Tate will be open for your quarterback. And that's why I say he's a QB-friendly receiver. And it was like that for Julian Sand against Wisconsin. He even had a throw for one of the touchdowns where it was a forget it, Carnell Tate's down there somewhere type of throw. And he threw it into double coverage. He just trusted his guy and trusted him to make a play, gave him a chance to make a play. Now, of course, we don't want you doing that. We don't want you throwing those passes into double and triple coverage because that's just not good, right? But watching Carnell Tate go up over a defender or two multiple times actually this season, but going up over defenders and just mossing them. He's a springy athlete, got good juice and explosiveness and everything in terms of leaping ability. He can go up. He can climb that ladder, right? He can go up and grab the cereal off the fridge. Okay, you want to put it in that top shelf, that top cabinet. He can do those things. He can go where the kids can't go. And I love that about his game. But he's not just a contested catch jump ball guy. He truly can separate. And he runs really good routes. That was on display against Wisconsin. And he runs a variety of routes too. Curls and stop routes, comeback routes, 7 stops, post routes, double moves, right? You're talking about, what is it? The post corner flag. Okay, like he runs the go route. Oh, he runs everything. Okay, whip routes. He can do it all. So when you have a guy with his height, his wingspan, all of that, and his movement skills, you have a mismatch problem. Essentially, you have a guy that is going to put defensive backs in conflict. And I mean, for me, just again, watching him initially this year, just even doing my report over at Bleacher Report, you go check that out, bleacherreport.com. We got our scouting reports up and live right now. We're dropping them every couple weeks. So definitely stay tapped in and tune in for that. But my initial grade on him was top of the second, high second round grade, wide receiver 2. And for me, going back to that Mekhi Lemon situation, just watching the tape on between these two guys, man, I don't have questions about, Carnell Tate winning against man coverage. There were some questions about Mekhi Lemon winning against press man and tight man coverage. Does he have the route running ability in close quarters? Does he have the explosiveness, things like that, the short area quickness to move guys off, so forth and so on? Well, I feel like Carnell Tate has those things. And he's proven that he can win one-on-one. So he's been my wide receiver 2. I just bumped him up to a first-round grade. He's next in line. He is next in line, and the tape doesn't lie. This dude is darn good. And I will say this. He's the wide receiver 2. He's a wide receiver 1B to Jeremiah Smith's 1A. But I promise you guys, if he was in a high-passing offense, like a high-octane, high-volume passing offense, but he was the number 1 wide receiver getting all the targets, we will be having a different conversation. We will be talking about him even more. We will be talking about Carnell Tate as a top 20, maybe top 15 wide receiver or prospect, period, in the 2026 NFL draft. I am all in. I am sold. I'm pushing all my chips to the table. Carnell Tate is going to elevate someone's passing offense. And I think about teams that already have a wide receiver 1. Let's just say, hey, we don't need a wide receiver 1. We need a wide receiver 1B. So the New York Giants, you feel like you have your guy in Jackson Dart? Hey, invest in him, right? You have Wan'Dale Robinson. You got Malik Neighbors who's going to be coming off that ACL. You telling me I can potentially have a Malik Neighbors paired with a Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo, Tyrone Tracy, Wan'Dale Robinson, Theo Johnson, and Carnell Tate? Carnell Tate, Malik Neighbors, and all those guys. Man, come on. Like I'm all for it. I'm all in on that, right? I'm all in on that. Truthfully, I am. Or if you're a team that says, you know what, we need that potential wide receiver 1 on the outside. The Baltimore Ravens. We know the Baltimore Ravens need wide receiver help, right? That's a team that needs it. The New Orleans Saints, if they feel strongly about Spencer Rattler, what's stopping them from saying, our offensive line is fine, or we go spend the money in free agency to fix the different holes and voids on the roster, and then go and grab and draft a Carnell Tate to pair with Rashid Shaheed, or Chris Olave, so forth and so on. Again, when it comes down to Carnell Tate, 6'3", 195, almost 200 pounds, the tape doesn't lie. He's a first-round wide receiver prospect. Route running, short area quickness, great hands, body control, contested catch winner, springy athlete. He's got the stride length to eat up grass, and eat up turf, and eat up cushion. And then he is a premier separator in one-on-one situations. He separates with the best of them. So at the end of the day, an NFL team is going to draft for Carnell Tate, and they're going to sit there and fist pump, knowing we got our guy, and he's about to help retool and elevate our passing offense. But Carson Beck, what does the tape show me? What did the tape tell me? What went wrong for Carson Beck versus Louisville last Friday? I'm going to tell you that coming up next. The NFL season is in full swing, and honestly, there's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your team. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be a hassle. Between queues, login screens, and prices jumping at checkout, it's frustrating. And that's why I use Game Time, the app that gives the advantage back to the fans. Game Time is fast, easy, and backed by the Game Time guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all fees are included. So the price you see is the price you pay. The app made it super simple. I could even see the exact view from my seat before buying or purchasing my ticket. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code Locked On NFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. From the good to the bad, Carson Beck, quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes. We recently did an episode archives, maybe a week or two ago, where we said Beck is back, right? Beck is back. The Hurricanes, the defense playing well. Carson Beck's playing like a late first, at least early second round quarterback, 6'4", 220 pounds. A guy who's a redshirt senior. And he has played like he's by the time he finishes this season, he is probably going to eclipse 40 plus games played, right? So that's a lot of football, which usually makes NFL teams feel pretty good. But not after this performance against Louisville for last Friday night. He was 25 of 35 for 71.4% completion percentage, 271 yards passing, 7.7 yards per attempt. 0 passing touchdowns, 4. Let me repeat that. 4 interceptions for Carson Beck. And man, when I think Keith said this, and I think he said it perfectly about Carson Beck. It snowballs. When one mistake happens, it just snowballs from there for Carson Beck. And that's tough to watch, honestly. One thing that the tape showed me in this game, he's got a tendency to predetermine his reads of where he's going to go with the football. One of his interceptions, matter of fact, not even one, I would say 3 of the 4, were plays and situations where he didn't come off that first read. He predetermined it. He stayed with it. He was stuck on it. He did not come off of that read. So there was the interception on the skinny post out of the slot. I think it's to Malachi Toney, the electric true freshman wide receiver for the Hurricanes, and he's running a post. It looks like it might have been. I truly believe that they tricked him. They fooled him in that situation with the coverage, but it didn't look like the too high safety. It looked like it was going to be cover 1. And everything, just one safety deep. They end up playing with 2 safeties back. Corner on the I think it was probably the field, the boundary side, the shorter side of the field, if I remember correctly. He's playing what looks like cover 2, hard flats or curl of flats. He's staying low and shallow with his drop so he can trigger downhill anything that comes in his direction, anything that works into his zones and his zone responsibility. And to watch Carson Beck not look at the go route that's wide open, he stares down. And this is the other tendency he has. He tries to use eye manipulation and look the defense off, but he never holds it long enough. You got to hold it to where you make those guys believe. Again, being a narcissist, okay? Tell them I am going to throw in this direction, knowing good and darn well you're throwing it back in the middle of the field. Instead, he looks it off and comes right back to it, okay? And he throws in the triple coverage, interception. And I'm just like, man, if he threw this on the outside, if he threw it outside, it's a touchdown, right? It's a touchdown. So when Carson Beck, he tends to do these type of things in terms of putting the ball in harm's way, not protecting the football. He's got a bad habit of that. But also, he struggles with pressure in his face, the pressure up the gut, in the interior of the offensive line and the interior defensive line, that pressure is how you stymie and nullify a passing attack that's led by Carson Beck. He does not want to get hit. He does not want to stand firm and stand tall and deliver those strikes. He's throwing off his back foot. He threw an interception like that, throwing off his back foot. Ball is underthrown. Arm talent is already above average. It's fine. It's sufficient. It's effective. It's not high octane. It's not explosive. It's not powerful. He doesn't have a lot of RPMs to drive the ball, excuse me, and things of that nature. So when I'm looking at Carson Beck, and don't get me wrong, there's some good things he did in this game. The first read, the quick game, he can excel there. Okay, he can excel there. Getting the ball out of his hands quickly, anticipating throwing windows, anticipating the break of his receivers' routes, and throwing the ball before they can sink, drive, and turn and pivot out of their route, out of their stem, rather. He does those things well, okay? He's accurate. He layers the ball. He knows how to go between velocity for what he has and go from a feathery touch, layering the football, what have you. He has those things. If there's free yardage, he can run and go get them. 5 to 10 free yards, he can go. But at the same time, it's the snowballing effect of, I made one mistake. I can't do it again. Well, I did it again. Can't do it for the third time. Well, I did it again. Can't do it for a fourth time. I did it again. Those are the things with Carson Beck where I just get worried about the playmaking or about the decision-making, especially under pressure. Okay, I love the fact that he's a vertical climber in the pocket. That edge pressure flies right by him. He slides up. He resets his feet. Good mechanics, and he delivers an on-target throw. But that is not something you need that, but you got to be able to handle the interior pressure, right? Handle it, man. Standing there and sometimes you got to stand in there and deliver. Sometimes you got to snap the ball, back foot hits, you climb that pocket, you know you're going to get tagged, and you still deliver a dime on dagger concept, on that skinny post, whatever, that slant, for a first down, for a touchdown, convert the downs. It doesn't matter, man. So Carson Beck, I have I think a back end of the second round, early third round grade on him right now. I think my comp for him is Jared Goff light. Jared Goff has more arm talent and arm strength, where for me, Carson Beck has more mobility out of the two, because he is a more functional athlete than people want to give him credit for. He makes plays. He makes things happen. He can escape a little bit, extend the plays. Like I love those things about, what he can do with his legs and with his feet at times, but I want him going north and south rather than trying to work east and west. So when I just look at Carson Beck, the tape was not good. There were some really bad decisions. It started off fine, and then it just trickled. It was such a snowball landslide situation. Couldn't stop the momentum. Couldn't stop, the turnovers. Yeah, and these are things that in the NFL, they're going to pick out what you struggle with the most, and they're going to attack that defensively. And I think that's going to be a big thing for Carson Beck. I do think his quick game, his intelligence, anticipatory throwing, things of that nature, I believe every bit of that. Like, I believe all of that, honestly. I believe all of that will translate well to the league. The experience he has, everything. But he's not an athlete. He's not an athletic specimen. He's not a running quarterback. His arm is above average at best. It is something that you have to monitor. And he's a guy that you have to build the team up with him in it. It's like, hey, if he's your nucleus, he's your nucleus. But you got to build everything around him, okay? Build the rest of the system. And I think if you do that, you could end up with a good starting quarterback. But at the end of the day, the tape from week 8 is one of them. Let me know if you ever heard the phrase "burn the tape." It's one of those from those who know. If you know, you know, from coaching and stuff like that. You've heard the term. Yeah, we burnt that. We burnt that game. We burnt the tape of that game. We're not watching it as a team. We're not going back to it. Things like that. This is one of those games for Carson Beck. Burn that tape. Burn the 4 interception tape against Louisville. He's just got to be better against pressure, man, because remember last year, that's how Tyler Shuck was. And a lot of his interceptions, a lot of his turnovers, a lot of his bad issues came because he didn't want to get hit. He didn't like the pressure bearing down on him. Carson Beck has a little bit of that in this game as well. But overall, just a really rough outing for the Miami Hurricanes quarterback. But guys, we're coming up next. We are going to talk about a player you probably have never heard of, and that is Nyjalik Kelly, edge rusher, outside linebacker for UCF. And I'm going to tell you why you need to put him on your radar.
I'm Cody Rourke from Locked On Broncos, and this episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most advanced equipment yet, giving you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or you're cross-training with your favorite instructors like Alex Toussaint. It's training reimagined to make your workout more personal. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with features that help you plan, stay motivated, and hit peak performance. You can let yourself run, lift, flex, and go while Peloton handles all the rest. Plus, Peloton IQ provides real-time strength coaching, tracking your progress and suggesting weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. Plus, the new movement tracking camera, it counts your reps and corrects your form in real time, making sure every rep is safer and smarter. So let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. The NFL season is here and in full swing, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 back in bonus bets if, and I mean if, you win. That's right. You heard me correct. Pick a bet. Put down $5. Put down $5. And if it hits, you'll unlock $300 back in bonus bets to use freely across the app. I mean, using on things like betting on player props, building that same game parlay, and even jumping into the live game action as it unfolds. So my question is simple. What are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com today and download the FanDuel app right now and get started. Visit FanDuel.com right now and download the FanDuel app today and get started. Thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day. Shout out for being our everydayers. Edge rusher, outside linebacker, 6'5", 250 pounds from UCF, Nyjalik Kelly. This is a young man that played West Virginia. UCF got the win 45-13, and he was a man on a mission. He came out there and he balled out, guys. Nyjalik Kelly, number 9, right outside linebacker, stand-up edge rusher for UCF, had himself a day. You hear me? Had a day. Rushing the passer, 2 sacks, 1 QB hit, 6 hurries and pressures, a pass rush win rate of 25%, and on true drop back sets, both his sacks, his 1 QB hit, and 3 of his pressures came on true drop back sets where his pass rush win rate jumped to 33.3%. This is a young man that I like the get off. I like the first step quickness. He has really active hands. He knows how to dip and get around the corner, soften the edges, when he's working against those tackles and everything. And just his motor, because it's not just I'm watching him on tape and he's chasing down plays backside in the run game, right? But not only chasing the plays down, I love the fact that he played with so much physicality at the point of attack on the edge, whether it was a tight end or the tackle. Okay, the offensive tackle. He played with so much want to and desire and intent to make it difficult to run the ball in his direction. Like to see him disengage from the blocks. Like, you shoot your hands, you stack, you fully extend, locate the football, now shed, and make the tackle, right? There was a couple plays where he didn't do that, and the running back was able to get 3, 4, 5 yards. Hey, I think if he improves that and put more urgency to shedding once he finds the ball, shed that blocker, make that tackle, it's a 1 to 2 yard gain rather than a 4 to 5, maybe even 6 yard gain. So for Nyjalik Kelly, I think that, and again, in this pass rush class, this is not a guy you've probably ever heard of unless you're a UCF fan, right? But I liked what I saw from him. He was very productive, in this game. But not only being productive, like his impact, you felt the energy. There was one, I think he probably could have had 3 sacks. I don't think he was awarded for this one, but he does a good job with his hands, dislodging and clearing the offensive tackles. There's a phrase, clear the hands, clear the man. And he did a good job of that with I think it was like a double hand swipe or something like that. Might have been a bull rush into the swipe or into the club, but he cleared the hands and he got to the quarterback. He didn't get a chance to wrap up. The quarterback felt that internal clock went off, and he was able to fight through some of that contact from Nyjalik Kelly. But at the same time, he should have had the sack, but he gets the assist, right? He gets the assist, like what's the hockey assist or whatever. He didn't directly sack him, but he caused the disruption, and the near sack situation made a disruption to where, it just was what it was. His defensive tackle came in, got the sack, and then I think the defensive tackle celebrated. I would have been like, man, that was my sack. What do you celebrate for? But shout out to the DT, man. He came in, he closed it up, right? He cleaned it up. He cleaned it up. He had the broom, he had the dustpan or whatever you want to call it. He had all of it. He had what he needed, right? The vacuum. He cleaned it up. Shout out to him. But for Nyjalik Kelly, I think in this particular class, and I want to look at their schedule really quickly to see what else they have going on, down the pipeline, I guess you could say. This season, they have Baylor. Baylor throws the football, right? They go on the road to Baylor November 1st. So they have a bye week this week. Then they have Baylor. Houston also throws the football. Texas Tech, they run it. I think it was a Cameron Dickey, their best player right now. They run the football. Oklahoma State is a mess, so who knows what they're going to do. And BYU, you're definitely going to get a balanced attack. I think, with this schedule and dealing with the heavy run game he's going to see from multiple teams, the physicality he's going to see from multiple teams, it's something that you have to pay attention to and something you have to warrant, making sure that you're not just stacking and peeking and locating the football, but shedding. Not allow that guy to clamp their hands. You want to fight to a stalemate. You want to set that hard edge, make the running back run between the tackles, things of that nature. Keep the outside leverage and everything. But I think there's upside to him. I think he could be a potential DPR, a 4th round pick, what have you. Got to see what his arm length and everything looks like. But again, I feel like he checks a lot of the boxes at 6'5", 250 on the season. 14 sacks. 4 sacks. 3 QB hits, 14 pressures. I'm sorry. He does have a fumble forced. He has 2 fumble forced this year as well. I think he's a good athlete. I just look at him and I say, okay, what am I going to get out of him? What can I do with him? What role can I give him? And I think, he can maybe be a Arnold Epiketti type of edge rusher and everything. First step quickness and get off and all of that, right? I think with Nyjalik Kelly, this is just a name to jot down and keep your eye on UCF. And as their season progresses, getting more eyes on these guys, I think Kelly could absolutely be a day 3, early day 3 pick. As long as he continues to play well, continue to stack up some more of these, the statistics and the box score. And then, I think his name will be on the rise if he can continue to do that, because he got 2 sacks and multiple pressures in that game, against West Virginia. Can he keep that going? Can you stop the run to earn the right to rush the passer? But guys, that's the show. Watch the tape Wednesday. Nyjalik Kelly, edge rusher, 6'5", 250 pounds, out of UCF. And then we have Carson Beck, the man himself. Carson Beck, not a great week for Carson Beck. And then we have Carnell Tate, who I believe is a first-round wide receiver prospect. There's not much he can't do, and he's proven himself week in and week out, time and time again. Go subscribe and follow for free on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts, to get the latest episode as soon as it is available. Thank you so much for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and everyday shot, for being our everydayers. We're going to get into some top 10 prospects mid-season. Look at Keith's big board a little bit over at the Draft Network. Then we're going to talk about these running backs, man, and it's time to figure out what we're going to do with this running back class. And this is running back class anywhere close to what we thought it could be. But for that, come and join the conversation again tomorrow on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.